Hi, and welcome to week 7 in our class. I hope that you're doing well. Hope you're getting your church or place of worship, church or synagogue or mosque, whichever you've decided to go and visit. I hope you're getting that paper wrapped up. Please reach out to me if you have any questions or any concerns about that or about anything in the class, really. This week we're switching our focus to what is the task of a Christian? So, our understanding is that a Christian understanding is that um, somebody is forgiven by Jesus and Jesus' death and Jesus' resurrection. But what does that mean in terms of the way that a Christian should live their lives? What's the responsibility of a Christian in the world? Um, so these are some of the things that we're going to be reading about both in Wright, and you've got a couple of different passages of scripture to be read. Um, there's an article on social justice. This is obviously been a bit of a buzzword in the media in the last 10 years or so, but social justice is actually a term that was coined in the late 19th century by the Catholic Church, and it's all about how do we bring justice to society? How do we make things fair and equal? So you may remember that was the late 19th century was considered to be the Gilded Age in American history. There was a lot of people, well, some people making a lot of money on the shoulders of everybody else, and so the church, among other groups and people, worked hard to bring equity, worked hard for things like um, the 8-hour workday, um, no more child labor, um, more equity in pay, uh, pay that you could earn enough to actually make a living and feed your family. All of those things were a part, and only a part, of the social justice fight in the late 19th century. So the church, the Catholic Church, and Protestants as well, have been very interested in social justice issues for a long time. If we go back to the Old Testament, the very beginning of the Bible, the Genesis accounts, the whole of the Torah, there's a real focus on taking care of those who are in need, taking care of the poor and the orphans and the widows and the foreigners. This is a big part of the teaching of the Torah and likewise of the prophets. So you have a reading from the prophet Micah, Micah chapter 6, and you'll see this emphasis on taking care of those who are poor. So there's a lot of injustice still in American society. Um, there are a lot of issues that the church needs to be fighting um, to help improve, um, to help bring equality, to help bring equity, and yeah. So these are things that we'll be reading about and talking about in the discussions this week. I hope you have a great week. Please feel free to, again, to reach out to me with any questions, with any concerns. I do want to note that your final paper is coming up in 2 weeks, right? A week and 3 quarters or so. Um, in that final paper, you need to be doing some significant reflection on things that you've learned over the course of the 8 weeks. You're going to need to bring in uh, primary source readings and secondary source readings both. So it's not just your opinion at this point. In that final paper, you're going to be looking at what you've learned and reflecting on the readings from the whole of the semester. So again, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to reach out to me. I hope you have a great week.